Well, now we're going to be joined by Dick Morris, the host of Dick Morris Democracy, right here on Newsmax, of course. And we're going to talk a little bit more about the direction of the GOP. So what do you make of this, Dick? What is this vote that is going to happen to take her out of her leadership role this coming week with Congresswoman Cheney, and possibly replacing her with Congresswoman Stefanik?
Well, you got to go back to the reason that Liz Cheney hates Donald Trump. The Bush family, which basically is the Cheney operation, Cheney and Bush joined at the hip, wasn't satisfied with two presidents. They wanted three. They wanted H.W. to be succeeded by W. to be succeeded by Jeb. And he was the heir apparent. And Donald Trump derailed his candidacy in a very harsh way in 15 and 16, belittling him in the debates and transforming him from a candidate to a bit of a laughingstock. And the Bush family never forgave that. It's why former President Bush, the 43rd, wrote in the name of Condoleezza Rice rather than voting for the nominee of his party, President Trump. And Cheney continued that process with the impeachment vote, and is venting her longtime animus against Donald Trump.
And it's not just the impeachment vote, though. In that role that she was serving, you know, she needs to be a fundraiser for the GOP. She needs to be the voice of the party as a whole, and not really just the things that she is interested in and the things that she believes in. So that seemed to be maybe the main problem with her.
Well, the other problem is that on January 3rd, 3 days before the Capitol Hill riot that she cited as the reason for her supporting impeachment, fallaciously and disingenuously, 3 days before, she orchestrated a letter sent by 10 former defense secretaries, including her father, that she was the organizer of, warning that Donald Trump might politicize the military, a thinly veiled warning that he might be leading a coup d'etat against the elected government, or her worries about that. Of course, Trump never contemplated that, and it's Liz Cheney's paranoia and anti-Trump feeling. But after sending that letter, she might as well have attached a letter of resignation as chairman of the Conference of the Republicans. Also, by the way, she's a dead duck in Wyoming. There's very good candidates, including a guy named Chuck Gray, who I think is going to beat her in the primary, unless there are so many other candidates that Gray can't get her on a one-on-one. But Trump will make an endorsement in that race, and whoever he endorses will defeat Cheney. And she is a gone goose. And by the way, this whole talk about a split in the Republican Party, there is no split. It's 99-1. Right. The Republican Party is solidly behind Trump, and the Democratic and liberal media efforts to portray it as a split is ridiculous.
Yeah,
and
I agree with you.
you'll see that in every one of these primary fights.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with you. I think that, you know, a lot of the establishment politicians are trying to feed that narrative, and that the media is buying into it. I think the Democrats also feeding that narrative, too, saying that there's this split within the GOP. Dick, thank you so much for joining us. Appreciate it.
I just want to mention that in 2 hours, I'm going to be on Dick Morris Democracy, my usual show, on Newsmax, and we're going to be talking about forcing 8 and 9 and 10-year-olds to have gender-altering surgery that may leave them sterilized. I call it castration of the boys and genital mutilation of the girls, and I won't be mincing my words. Yeah, no, I mean, it's
definitely a topic that everybody's talking about, and I know you never mince your words, for sure.
Never,
never. And Dick, I was actually just about to tease your show, and everyone can watch it and get the very latest information always by going to dickmorris.com and subscribing. And do not miss his show. It is called Dick Morris Democracy, tonight at 7:30. You heard just one of the topics he's going to be talking about, and that will also re-air tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern if you missed it, right here on Newsmax.
Hey, I'm Rob Finnerty. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please join the conversation in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe, too. Hit the bell icon to be alerted to breaking news. And remember, there's a whole lot more on Newsmax TV, America's fastest growing cable news network. Newsmax TV, we're real news for real people.